Does tabloid journalism build or destroy society in any way? Are newspaper sales not suffering at the hands of new technology? Are tabloid newspapers not creating fake celebrities? And do tabloid journalists care about the stories they write? What time is it? It's question time. Welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. Recently, there was an outcry following publication of pictures of a party that was hosted by a popular socialite in Johannesburg. The pictures featured naked women who were used as sushi platters. However, Sunday World stood by their decision to publish the pictures. Some have accused tabloid journalism as gutter journalism. Is that the case? My guest is Abdul Milazi, editor of Sunday World. Mr. Shwashu himself.
Yeah, you called me Shwashu today. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Do you build communities in any way?
I think as tabloid newspapers, that's not our job. That's for the other newspapers. With us, we bring you all the fun and the things that people do behind closed doors. That's what we do. Nation building, well, we're not going to pretend we do that.
Okay. Now, this one of your papers here, although this was during Nelson Mandela's passing. I'm just going to ask our one of our cameras to just get the picture there, which is, as you say, you can see, United we stand. This is a good story. You didn't like it?
No, we loved it. But remember, Mandela is Mandela. So, and we all thought, okay, what's the biggest story happening at the time? It was Mandela. You couldn't, even if there was a celebrity who walked in the streets naked, still, that story wouldn't be bigger than Mandela. So Mandela was this story, and we had to, carry it, celebrate him, and capture what people were doing to celebrate him outside, and we bring that to the reader. Remember that, the tabloid reader is not actually just reading smart. There's everything there. There's lifestyle stories. There are other community stories that people gloss over because they see 1, 2, or 3 celebrity stories oh, this is what people are about. But there's a whole lot of good stories in there when you dig deeper.
Yeah, but you see, I'll refer once again to this story. United we stand. Social cohesion. The agenda there is clear. And, we were talking that this was one of your best sellers ever. Don't you think if you were running this type of stories, you would be selling, thousands and thousands of copies more?
No, as I said, it was a special factor. It was Mandela. Unfortunately, Mandela can't die every week, you see, so otherwise we'll sell every week. But, only dies once, and we've got to move on. But there won't be another Mandela issue.
Yeah.
So only one Mandela.
Okay. And then, recently, we had this one. Right?
Senzo Meyiwa.
Yes.
The farewell.
Senzo Meyiwa, the farewell. I'm made to believe that it also sold quite well.
Yes. It's one of our top sellers. Didn't sell as much as the Mandela one, but it was close. It was just down by 3,000 copies. But
typical of you, tabloid journalists, out of Senzo, then comes another element of Senzo.
You just said it. Another element of Senzo. So we don't selectively cover stuff. So now, he was buried there. There's nothing we can do about that. But who is Senzo is what we follow up. So we dig up everything until our reader knows who Senzo was, what's and all.
What? Don't you think that people were not interested in something like this?
Oh, they bought it. They bought the paper, so they were interested.
Yeah, but don't you think society is saying, okay, a national hero, let's, observe this moment, and please don't sell us,
But remember what the editors before, I call them the dinosaurs, the editors before us used to do. They used to dictate what readers should read. Right?
Yes.
And it worked because the internet wasn't there at that
Yes,
time.
yes.
Now with the internet, things have flipped. The power now is with the reader. The reader dictates what he or she wants to read. And if you don't give them that, they move elsewhere. You will stay with your prescriptive newspaper, and while they're reading other newspapers, and you wonder why. So now it's the reader who says they want to read this. And we dish it out to them the best we can.
Very insensitive, I want to maintain. This man has not even been buried, or it was just a week after his burial. You already are telling us the family wants the child.
Because that's the truth. That's what they wanted. So you wanted us to lie. The family wanted the child. They wanted to look after the child. And also they said they wanted to do rituals, cleansing ceremonies and stuff. It's fact. We didn't make up the story.
But you see, you made it very difficult for us to even get interviews from this Mayua family, because they kept on saying to us, you journalists keep on writing stuff about us. And I mean, we had to understand that, you know what, they've had enough. I mean, in other instances, yes, you do indicate that they didn't want to even talk to you. Do you blame them?
Yeah, no, well, blame them or don't blame them, we want the story, period. That's what we want, because each week we need a new, fresh story to do. So we won't say we sit there and we're saying, okay, now they've had enough and what. If there's still questions to be answered, we will ask them those questions until either they run and hide, but we will still hound them until they answer the questions. Because with them, anyway, like he was the father especially, he can't be complaining because he was basking in the limelight. He's the one who went there, made himself a celebrity, you know, like posing and doing things. And then suddenly, when he thinks it's enough, then he doesn't want to talk. No, that's what we told him. It's like, no, you put yourself up there. You didn't have to say anything when this whole thing started, but you did, because now the limelight, the TV cameras were on you and everybody wanted to speak to you and you felt good. And then, well, continue. You started it.
I want us to take a quick break. When we return, let's talk about other aspects of tabloid journalism, and in particular Sunday World. There are certain things that I want to take up with you. This is Question Time. Please don't go away.
This former breadbasket of Africa, playing host to SADC leaders.
I feel humbled and yet greatly honored at being appointed the chairman of SADC.
When I was a student, Harvard was only my visible college, my formal classes. But I was also a student in an invisible college.
The outbreak in West Africa is the world's deadliest to date. It's centered on Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, with cases also reported in Nigeria.
Catch news at 8, 7 days a week. Be informed.
A huge part of this African growth is technological innovation. Governments here are working hard to ensure that the continent's technology matches that of more advanced countries.
High-speed internet connectivity is regarded as a utility.
As the continent battles diseases like Ebola, social media becomes the preferred method to share information.
People on social media are some of the society's most influential.
To find out more, join me, Phumelele Zondi, on Network every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on SABC News.
Abdul Milazi is the editor of Sunday World and he's my guest today. This is Question Time. Now, who really wants to read all this news that you print?
That's the, if I tell you the sales, that's the 106,000 people who actually physically buy it, and then 1.6 people who read it. That's who. Those are the people who want to read
What type
story.
of people are this?
Well, it's normal people like me and you. Actually, because when you typecast or you capture the reader, it's your normal black people between the ages of 25 and 55 who work, they're professionals, and they live in the suburbs, in the townships, and they're not different from you. It's sometimes they don't just read the tabloids, they read the other papers that carry politics, but just for the politics. But then they buy us too, now for the celebrity life, because they want to look into the lives of the people that they only see on TV and in papers. It's like, oh, so it makes them feel good because they say, oh, so there are people like us. And, oh, okay, they also break up. Their relationships also go south. Okay, others are broke like us, and it makes people feel good. That's what they want to look at the celebrity life.
Sometimes I think you guys are insensitive. I mean, people could make up, and there could be peace, but the way in which you go at it, I mean, even if they were to reconcile, you make it so difficult.
No, see, when they break up, we write about it. When they reconcile, we write about it. See, all those weeks we make the sales, which is the bottom line.
And then in the process, you create fake celebrities.
Well, see, we don't have too many celebrities in South Africa. Or let me say maybe the young generation of celebrities, I think the definition has changed. Before, it used to be somebody who's celebrated. That means who've achieved or has achieved something in life. And you'd be talking your Bra Hughes, your Miriam Makebas, like in the late, your Yvonne Chaka Chakas and stuff. Right now, you just have a presenter who goes to parties all the time and then appears in a couple of magazines and then they're celebrities. So, but I think it's what people, either maybe it was a lack of or shortage of celebrities, which made people then look up to just about anyone, even people who are just starting up. Because I think if we used to have celebrities who were also like TV presenters, but they earned that because it was over time, where now they have a following, and then people are like, I know Mpo, and he's done this, he's done that, and then they celebrate you. But if now I get a job, like as a TV presenter, and then suddenly I'm like, hey, I'm a celebrity, I'm going to parties and what, then I start dressing funny, and that's what's happening now.
Okay. So do people, other presenters or popular figures bore you by perhaps being laid back?
Yep. See, for tabloids, you need to be exciting. So if you live a boring life, you don't sell us.
Okay. Who are your best sellers?
Oh, our best sellers, like Kanyumbao is still like the best seller ever.
For what? I mean, what does she do?
Kanye speaks her mind, and she speaks about anything she does. There are no taboo subjects with her, and that is a dream interviewee, like of a tabloid. Because when you call her up, you could be asking her whether she shaves down there or she waxes. She'll tell you. But other celebrities will be a little coy and like, I can't talk about that and whatever. And then readers will like, okay, we want to know. So, but Kanye will say, I do that, or I do that, I prefer this because what, or that, and I don't do. Remember when she was going out with Mr. Krauss?
Oh, yes.
She never denied it. Like, when she was confronted, it's like, oh, yes, so, that other woman, like, if she couldn't take care of a man, like, it's not my problem. So if this man likes what I give him and he buys me a Lamborghini, so what? And you see now, that's a celebrity with character. So the same thing overseas, I can equate it to your Lady Gagas and your Rihannas. They don't care.
Okay.
Like, what people, like, do they live on the edge? And that's what readers want to read.
And just describe me a boring celebrity who you wouldn't really want to feature in your paper.
No. We feature the boring ones, but deep inside. See, all the ones who behave, like, so, well, there are plenty of those. I think either they pretend they behave or they create an impression that they behave. So your Silomaka Ganubes don't sell.
So he's a good boy.
Yes, Wes is a good boy. Your Connie Ferguson and Shauna don't sell, like, because they're goody two shoes. So you give us bad boys, like Dingan Tobela sells, because he's always up to something. So he's like, he messes up now, then he messes up there, and then he speaks. See?
Okay. So you're saying somebody like Dingan Tobela sells. Now, what is good in knowing that Dingan Tobela has dumped his cheating wife?
So you asked the wrong question. Like, not what is good, but like, would people want to know? That's the question. So people would want to know. Remember that voyeur need or desire that humans have. That's why there's so many reality TVs, even though they're all staged anyway.
Okay.
So, but people want to see what people do, like Big Brother.
Yeah.
People get excited just like because some people had sex on TV. It's like, but people have sex all the time. So, but it's like, no, it's not them having sex, but they've seen videos either in the shower or like under some bed, like there's a bed clothes, and then they see people moving, and the viewership like goes up.
Hold the thought there. I want us to close up the show when we return by looking at misleading headlines. This question time, please don't go away.
Bring awareness to our passengers about what Ebola is about, importantly, how it is transmitted, and the key thing about it is that it is not airborne.
Across the board, women are at risk of getting breast cancer, and the risk factors are in fact a family history, a strong family history of breast or ovarian cancer.
The plastic surgeon, the first thing he would check is your weight and would ensure that your body mass index is within the normal range. And if not, they probably would actually, suggest that you lose weight before you even consider having these procedures.
Catch Dr. Silo Mutaung on Health Talk every Saturday from 9 to 10 on SABC News.
Ja, ik heb een paar bezig. Kom.
The session musicians, you want a particular sound on your record. Who do you get? Abo Butemp, Abo Victor Masond, Abo Godfrey Mqina. So these are the people who play a very, very vital role in making us.
The South African Horror Fest is the only inclusive event of its kind over Halloween season. It screens a host of exciting horror or thriller movies from around the world.
Shishani achieved stardom when she won a live music competition in Namibia titled Last Band Standing in 2012.
Join Musam Khalipi on Afro Showbiz every Saturday at 19:30 CAT.
Welcome back. We're talking Shwashwi and tabloid journalism, and my guest is Abdul Milazi. He's the editor of Sunday World. Now, Abdul, let's talk about misleading headlines. And here we have one of your worst misleading headlines. Arthur in bed with Kelly. The bed is not even in inverted commas, which would mean it can mean something else.
That was our best headline, actually. Wow. And it sold. No, it was the best headline. Well, people read what they wanted to read into it. It's an English expression. So when the ANC is in bed with the DA, it doesn't mean that they're having sex. So it means like they've an alliance of some sort, or they've had an agreement. So you don't need to put the bed in inverted commas. It's like Arthur is in bed with Kelly. So if you're thinking they're doing something actually on the physical bed, that's up to you. But that's not misleading at all. But it sold people because I think a lot of people had the same mind as you.
Well, I buy newspapers not because of the headlines, because I want to read all of them, on Sunday. But why don't you devote some time, to issues of religion, for instance, church matters, Just show us what Bishop so-and-so was doing,
Coincidentally, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're starting in January, or we've started already having a column where we feature a sermon, like by a pastor, bishop, prophet, reverend, etc. And then next year, we're going to have a full-on page where we will do church news, basically what churches are doing in the community, the projects they're running to uplift the youth and to help people. Because that's not in the papers mostly. And a lot of people, when I said that, there was in the tabloid, the church people are not celebrities.
That's what I wanted to ask, that you expect the pastor to really preach in the same paper where you have naked women laid bare there by Kenigunen.
But remember that all those women were in church, At one stage they're naked. There's nobody who never gets naked. See, I think when they're in the shower, they're naked. So even though they are dressed in church, so it doesn't actually, also we're born naked, remember?
Yeah, but I don't think that's what people would want to see in the newspaper.
You mean people don't want to see naked people?
Yes.
I know a lot of people want to see naked people.
But is that what informs your decision to then show us Kenigunene and his parties in Joburg?
That party was chock-a-block. There was standing room only. What do you think those people wanted to see? To see him smoking a cigar? No, they wanted to see him eating off the punani. That's what they wanted to see.
And you don't see anything wrong that you published a not even a semi-naked, but a naked woman on your paper.
Oh yeah, but a naked woman looks glorious, doesn't she?
Is that the reason why you then put women? Of the three bestsellers here, right? You've got women in the front page.
Mm-hmm.
One would say you're using them as objects to sell newspapers.
They're loving it. That's the difference. Okay. See, when we talk for women, I've heard a lot of people saying, yeah, you're objectifying women and whatever, but there's modeling. And women wear the skimpiest of clothes in summer to be seen. Who's objectifying them? Is it them you when you take a picture of them?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when we talk politically, we tend to forget reality and what we are as people. It's like, no man, when a woman walks past and whatever, you're like, like she looks good. Are you objectifying her, or are you just appreciating that she looks good?
Okay.
So we're doing exactly the same thing on front page. She looks good, we put her there so that you can appreciate her too.
Now, out of the outcries that you receive for publishing, for instance, the Kenigunene party, what do you take out of that? Do you think people are being unreasonable?
No, I think people are hypocrites when they speak in public. There's an image they want to create, but then when they're in the house, they're the same people you'll find with a copy of Sunday World in their house. But outside, just because they want to be seen, to be goody two-shoes, they'll say stuff.
Have you had instances?
Oh yeah. No, I've had people I know personally who buy Sunday World and then they'll put it inside the Sunday Times or City Press, and then they'll go home with the Sunday Times, but they've got Sunday World inside there. And then when I come there to visit, then I'm like, so you buy Sunday World? No, my kid, when they start making, telling you some story, no, my kid wanted to read about Boiti or something. I'm like, nah, dude. You see, that's the image creation versus reality. You do want to read about those celebrities there, even though you also want to read about politics. But life is, look at it in total. When we work, that's what we do. Wake up, we go to work. We are not about work. Then we come up, come out of work or back from work, then we have fun.
Okay.
Or we go to church, if that's where you have fun. You have fun in church, or some people go to clubs, others go and drink with their friends. And that's your life. And then you worry about your money, making money so you can feed your kids, etc., etc. And we try to capture all that there.
Do you agree that you do destroy lives?
Nope, we don't. We celebrate life.
And in the event that a publication about a particular individual leads to unforeseeable and unenviable circumstances.
Like what, them killing themselves or something? That will be just unfortunate. But the intention is not to destroy or to kill.
Yeah.
We report on what has happened, and when it gets right, we report that it's gotten right. And when it goes bad, we'll report that it's gone bad too.
Abdul Milaz.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm not going to be on Shashri.
Yeah, with a misleading headline.
Okay. That was question time for today. Follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle at Mpo and our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. Our email address questiontime@sabc.co.za. Have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.
Guinea is reopening an Ebola clinic in its remote southeast in an effort to prevent sick nationals seeking better treatment elsewhere.
The new labor law also seeks to clamp down on violent strikes by holding a trade union liable for violence committed by its members during a strike.
The new canal is set to boost